Hoven River is a rather slow, and it takes, combined with your rowing efforts, you start slowly moving towards the distant jungle, and the river is rather wide. Once you do start entering the jungle, the river is rather wide, but with the thick foliage along the side, you can't quite tell where the shore is. Sometimes you can catch glimpses as there's small breaks in the trees and foliage. But you start to get surrounded, and as most of them disappears in the distance, you see Nazbor get up, and he actually has a what looks like he's got the entire thing of garlic peeled out, and he selected the largest one, and he takes a small nibble, and he offers it to you, Shannon, and he goes, just a nibble. It's good luck.
And he took a nibble himself.
Yeah, he just took like a little nip off the garlic.
Sure.
You can definitely smell the garlic on him. I mean, his hands are probably stained with it, and he's got the entire necklace. And most of them is kind of fading behind you, but with him, it's just like you haven't left with the reek of garlic.
Yeah, sure. I accept his offer, and I take a nibble and hand it back.
Okay. He takes the garlic to you, Cody. A nibble?
I just kind of like side-eye him, begrudgingly do it.
Oh, good. Yes, and he moves on to you, Connor.
Oh yeah, I take a bite out of it.
Good. Looks at what's left, and he's like, Then he goes over to you, Thalon. A nibble.
Thalon, of course, takes his nibble and definitely appreciates the garlic.
And
saving that for an hour.
To you, Ari. There's not much left, but just nibble. Leave some.
I look at him eating my fruit preserves. I'm
fruit
good.
Preserves and garlic.
I'm good, thank you.
Please.
They don't mix well.
You're a loss. And kind of shrugs and looks at his brother, and his brother also shrugs, and he takes it over to Vash and Hasbin, and they both kind of take a nibble, and he goes up to the very front of the boat, and he looks into the water and tosses it in, and he goes, "Now we have all eaten and broken bread with the river itself. Now the river can't kill us without a curse." And then he looks at Ari, and then he grabs his scimitar, and he kind of like takes his spot in the very front of the boat and starts like looking out onto the water. As this goes on, you're kind of just drifting along, and you guys all notice as it's not, you're not rowing constantly, but it's like, you row here, you let it take you for a little bit. That was Nazbor. That was one of the guards.
Yeah.
The thin, reedy one with a necklace of garlic.
Gotcha. Thanks.
Yeah.
Can we see anything in the water?
Yeah, so you start peering over. You look in, and the water is very brown and murky, filled with sediment, and there's occasional floating leaves and debris. But looking in, maybe you see catch a few flickers of movement in there, and like maybe even the side of the boat is very close, maybe only a foot and a half from the actual water, so you could even reach down and touch the water. And maybe you're even thinking about doing that and feeling it, and you see something larger move through the water, and you like pull your hand back.
Oh, it's just a catfish. Don't be such a baby.
And as you get, basically for the first day, it's rather uneventful as you head deeper and deeper into the jungle. But as you do get deeper and deeper, it seems that Kavalt gets a little bit more and more excited. In the beginning, he was kind of they've got him roped to the mast itself, and he's kind of like sitting there. He's not roped up, but like the rope is tied around his belt, so he's got like a little leash essentially.
Right, he's not Odysseus to it.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, so he's kind of sitting there, and he's like, when you first departed, he was kind of slumped his shoulders over and was like, looking down and playing with looks like a small collection of marbles he has. But as you start going into the jungle, he kind of seems to perk up, and he's looking around, and he's looking over everyone's shoulders, and he's looking into the jungle, and he's watching, and every once in a while he'll say something to Vesh, and Vesh will kind of steer around a spot where there's a tree half submerged in the water. But aside from that, the day is rather uneventful, and it starts getting darker, and you find a spot where you can pull the boat up against the shore and rest for the night. I'm going to assume you guys are going to take the same watch order.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
maybe before sleep, just like poke Kavash and see, what does he have to say about Aurak?
Kavalt.
Gavalt. There we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. So he's like, maybe gloomily eating some of the preserves you've brought. Hello. Hi.
Oh, hello.
What's up?
Hey, my name's Thalon. Pleasure to meet you.
Here, I can take you guys to the this image of this boat, and then that has people's names on it. And you guys can put your miniatures on the boat as well if you'd like. See? Yeah, one of Kavalt's guards is awake at all times.
Oh, there we go. That's
I'm
Sorry, I'm-
twice as thick as the mast.
as it should be. So I'll just be over here.
We're all thick boys.
So,
yeah.
Kavalt, you've been down here before. What do you remember about oh gosh,
Yeah,
what was the place
yeah.
we were going to? Orax?
Oh, Orax. Great place. It's a nice little town. Although I haven't been there in several months, of course. I'm told not to.
Of course. What do you remember happening there? Did anything occur before you had finally left?
Before I finally left, no, they were just like I left them. They're a very, very friendly group of people. They work for the trade company because they're willing to trade. Very nice people. Yeah, they capture animals. Real cool animals too. Oh man, you saw some of the biggest lions and gorillas and wild creatures. It's quite exciting. It's fun to ride
Sounds like
boats.
dangerous work.
Oh, very, very dangerous, but we bring them good things. We used to bring them items made of metal. We bring salts, silks. Oh, they were very, very happy to trade for those. Some of the nicest looking natives with all those beautiful silks. I can tell you that. Yeah.
Oh, they're all natives, are they?
Oh, yeah. They're all natives.
Oh, what kind of natives? I keep hearing the
Friendly.
word, but maybe specifying would be good.
They're Svimosish. They're native to these jungles here. They're humans. Not any of those wild elves. The wild elves, they don't really like our contact and our trade, so we tend to stay away from those guys. But the humans, they're lovely.
Oh, so
He
they're
looks at
also
you and he sees
so
you're
this-
an elf, and he goes, no mean to offend. I'm sure you're a real nice elf. And he like pats you on the knee.
Oh yes, and I'll just go, oh no need to offend at all. I understand your concerns and the tribulations you must have been, but you said that they also do live in the forest. Very interesting. I was not aware of an elvish community until now.
You don't think elves live in the forest?
Oh, well, I
hear
simply
that.
hadn't heard of it. This is my first time here, actually.
Oh, welcome. Glad to be of service. I'm glad I could take you on this exciting journey. To the left, that's the Vovan jungle. Now, but
Oh wow!
to the right, that's also the Vovan jungle. Yeah.
You don't say. Fantastic, truly.
Yeah. If you have any questions, I'll be your tour guide for the rest of the
I do. These elves, just to specify which type of wild elves we're thinking of here, are these the ones with bad attitudes and terrible tattoos all over themselves in the disgrace of their elven heritage, or are we speaking of some other type?
I have seen some like that. Yes.
Oh.
But I've also seen some of the other type. they're all, most of them are rather a little annoyed. We've tried to be friendly with them, but there has been a few invasions, and that tends to, elves have a long memory, apparently.
Well, that it is true. I definitely won't forget this conversation.
Oh, well, good. I'm glad to meet you. If you need anything, I'll just be right here.
Of course,
Jerks
anytime
thumb
I
towards the
need a
mats.
pickup of your happy little spirit, I'll be certain to come by.
You
I'll
wanna play
just be
marbles?
right over here, about 5 feet away. We're not going anywhere.
5 feet away. You say that's just as far as my rope goes. You go back to your seat, and he's right there next to you.
Yeah, and the lord will actually happily engage in just mild conversation.
He's definitely got some mild conversation. It all seems a little bit wild. There's always seemed like an edge of hysteria to his voice, but
He's got a little bit of that manic energy all over.
yeah, his hair is graying and a little like frizzes out to the side and looks rather unkept. But the second day passes by uneventful as well. At the second day, you take the turn off the main river and start turning down one of these side channels. And you're about half a day away from Orok when you pull up for that night, which also passes by uneventfully. You're kind of starting to get a little bit excited. And this river at this point has narrowed down to about just a little bit wider than your boat. And as it does, you start to hear a buzzing. And from the water rises 4 creatures kind of skimming out of the underbrush and from the water. They look like enormous mosquitoes with long noses that come to a point and several legs. Does anyone have the monster lore skill?
Oh, that I do. Are these the terrifying, unholy, the worst offenders to gods themselves, mosquitoes?
What is your monster lore skill? Because monster lore is a skill
right.
that
You're going to roll it. That's right.
I rolled in secret. So 30,
but it is 30, yes.
Okay. You
you
recognize these creatures as Stirges, which they look like large, hairy mosquitoes that are about probably about 5 pounds, and you don't really know much about them. You recognize them as Strixes, but aside from that, you know that they like to attach to people and suck their blood.
Right.
And it looks like that's what they're trying to do, because as you see them rise, you like, oh, I recognize these, and they start swarming towards your boat. So I need everyone to roll initiative.
I suppose it'll be a good question how much time we have to prepare for that. Probably not a whole lot, given we're rolling initiative.
Yep, it is D12s for initiative.
I'll roll that as a D10 because I'm an elf. Got to click the token first. Don't forget that step.
Yep, click the token first.
What time of day was this?
This is about midday. You wake up the morning and you're informed that you're almost to Orok, and then this happens.
All right,
so it's probably about I think 8 or 9. Maybe you're an hour or 2 onto the water.
Easy enough to assume, though, that I'd be wearing my armor.
Yeah, you guys are still wearing armor. It's not hard enough work to be rowing that you can't wear armor.
You might be a little warm, but that's about it.
It looks like
I'm from the
from the far north. Everything is too warm.
Well, no, even large swaths of the far north are temperate. I'm from the extreme north, where I'm from the frozen tundras, one of the few places on this planet that has them.
God, it just reminds me of like Fawford and the Great Mouse, or just go take a snow bath.
All right. So second one, these creatures. Oh, I was wrong. These aren't Strixes. These are giant wasps.
Oh, whoops! I was wrong, everybody. They're not here to suck your blood. They're actually just
So-
going to kill us.
Really, I don't see the proboscis. What are you talking about, Thal?
That's what happens, and it actually makes perfect sense because what happened is you failed your monster lore check.
Yeah.
I rolled above a 30, but within 25. So you see these creatures rising out, and you're like, I recognize them. They're Strixes. Watch out! They'll suck your blood. And everyone else is like, what? Because they look just like giant wasps.
Nice.
So on second 3, this is kind of when the first one rises out and starts making a beeline towards Ari. They've got a 30-foot fly speed, so it like rises out and quickly covers the distance from where it was in the shrubbery and attacks Ari. So since your initiative wasn't up, this attack, if it hits, will lower your initiative to 2 seconds after this attack. So he's going to attack normally, and you will roll a D for your defense.
I'm sorry, you broke up. A D what?
A D8,
D8.
penetrating. So there's no way, the character sheets don't yet have this built into it, but so you'll just roll a D8, and that penetrates. Oh, looks like you rolled a 0.
Yeah.
So
Penetrated to a 1. -1.
So it flies out, and I mean, you try to do what you can, and maybe you're leaning forward, rolling, but it still gets you, and doing 2 points of damage. So I don't know if that got through your DR. I don't think so.
Armor is a damage reduction of 2.
Yep. So you got stuck by it, but its stinger didn't make it through your armor. That still will delay you though, or that still will reduce your initiative down to a 2, because you still got attacked. So you still felt the impact in your back.
I rolled a 1, but I'm not on there. I'm not on the screen.
Did you select your token when you rolled it?
Yeah.
I did, yeah.
Oh, you didn't hit the initiative button. You just
Oh, is that what
rolled. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be why.
I didn't know where the... Yeah, okay.
What's your
Yeah, so if
speed
you-
modifier, by the way? Or your initiative modifier?
Minus... I don't have one.
Oh, you have a
So
0?
yours is the 1. So it's under saving throws and quick references. So under quick references, you'll see there's initiative.
Sorry.
So
Yeah,
if right under the
it's the-
Hackmaster
yeah.
symbol.
Yeah, I see it.
Yep. So for
Do you
now,
want me to roll?
yeah,
I
click it now, just because that'll get you on the tracker.
Yeah.
But we'll take I'll just add because you did roll a 1.
Yeah.
So and see, it's got your modifier there is a 1. So you would be going on second 2. So but now that you're on the initiative tracker, I can modify your initiative to a 2.
Draw your weapon on second 2, fit in at 3. There we go. Then we don't have to change continuity.
Yep. So we'll say, yeah, you drew your weapon on second 2.
Okay. That sounds good to me.
Delay. And at this point, Nazvor, he sees these wasps truly rising out, and Thalon's like, they're Strixes, and Nazvor's like, I don't think so. They're going after the garlic licks boy. So he raises a hue and cry. So that reduces everyone's initiative by 2 seconds to a minimum of second 4.
And we add it in, right?
Yeah, so this is where you'd click on your initiative number and then change it, reduce it by 2 to a minimum of the second 4.
From 13 to 11.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
And
know I
that's
did
his
that.
second. Oh. But yeah, so, and Ari, so you do get your initiative reduced down to a 4. So first you were reduced to a 5 because you got attacked, and then this hue and cry also reduces it down to a 4. So,
Okay.
It's his turn on second 4, Nazvor. And so he draws his weapon. Kara?
Cool. Yeah. How far can I move?
You can move 2 squares at a jog or 1 at a walk. You see several more of them rising from the jungle and starting to head towards you. At the moment, you don't have any weapons drawn.
Yeah, can I move and draw a weapon?
Yeah, so you move and draw.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm gonna move right there. Is that all I can do this?
Yep, that's all you're doing because you're drawing your weapon.
And I guess melee engagement next turn then.
Yep.
Cool.
Uh,
How long? How much do I add to the delay?
You just hit done, and that'll delay you 1 second.
Okay.
And then, so Connor, you're up. What would you like to do?
I want to move and attack.
All right.
So I can move. Can I move and attack, or do I have
Yep.
to move and then next time?
Because we said the last second you drew your weapon, and so this second you have it out, and because you're a gnome, you enter a jog, you step over and swing.
Okay. And swing with my short sword. So what do I roll for attack?
Yep, roll to attack. All right. And I roll defense. And so if you notice now, this will actually say your speed on your attack. So that way you don't have to check your character sheet every time for when you hit your delay. So he tied your roll, and so you swing for it and just barely slice the air right where it was as it flutters out of the way. Bzzz.
Darn it.
As it pulls its stinger out of Ari.
And I just hit done or delay?
You hit delay, and then if you're going to keep attacking, you're going to hit delay, and then your speed is 7.
So my input modifier is 7?
Yep. All right, and Tub?
I'm gonna take out my weapon and move over.
All right, so you can move 1 square.
I did it.
Nice.
Leave
So
the wizard alone, of course.
you now hit done, and that'll be your turn.
Oh shoot! I just thought that was one. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna see where I'm at. Is it like a ready action or what have you, or no?
What are you trying to ready?
If one of them comes near me,
You automatically get to do that anyway. So you kind of
Okay,
you just be waiting.
yeah, exactly.
Ready. So yeah, just hit done, and like you've got your weapon out and you're just watching.
Exactly.
Let's see. So then you can just hit done again because none of them are correct. And this giant wasp, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 is Nazvor, 2 is Thalan, 3 is Kavalt, 4 is Kara, 5 is Ari. As it tries to choose its prey, it flies after Ari. So 10, 20. It buzzes out and also will attack Ari. However, you're aware on this turn, so you can roll your full defense.
My defense button is tied to my weapon. Is there one that's not? Because I don't have a weapon or a shield drawn. This kind of affects the combat profile.
You would have to have a combat profile that would say unarmed, and then that wouldn't have.
For next time. Let me just look at my stats here. My defense mod is +1, -2, so -1 total.
So, and then you don't have your shield, and right now that's adding. So 6, 7. So it'd be minus.
Just by my stats alone, I'm just at a -1. -4 for my armor.
Yep. Yep.
So D20 -4.
Yep, that works perfectly.
Is that penetrating?
It is penetrating, but the way a D20 penetrates to a D6, so don't write it as penetrating because if it does penetrate, then we have to manually do D6.
Cool.
So it does hit you.
It could be a 0.
It could be a 0 though. Ooh, this one's not. So maybe like you get plunked in the back and you're like standing up, and this one flies towards you and catches you in. Maybe you had your padded armor open a little bit to as you're rowing, and it stings you right in the chest, the upper chest, right under the neck. for 8 points of damage.
Okay, so first thing I do is reduce my maximum hit points, right?
So the first thing you do, you don't reduce your maximum hit points.
Okay.
All you do is you add wound 1,
As 8.
and this is an 8-point wound, but
Okay.
you have damage reduction of 2 from your padded armor.
So 6.
So it's a 6. So you put a 6-point wound in wound 1.
And days to heal is 6?
Unless you have fast healing.
So 6.
So 6. Yep.
I'm not a tough little guy.
Yep. And that wasn't over your threshold of pain, so you don't have to roll anything there to potentially incapacitate it in combat.
Got it.
All right. Let's see. All right. So that's its turn. So now it should be yours.
Well, I'd already planned to do it. I'm going to pull out my shield.
All right.
In
That'll take
5 seconds.
5 seconds. All right. You've got to sat next to you on the bench, and so you're pulling it up and starting to strap it on. Kara. Oh, Tub. He wants Tub to go first. I don't necessarily know how this initiative tracker decides to choose the order because it's not alphabetical.
Is it
Because-
based by dexterity?
I have no idea. That
It's
might
its
be
own
it, actually.
magic.
Yeah, none of them are approaching you yet, so you can just hit done again, Tub, if you'd like.
Yes.
You could also, if you'd like, you see that Thalon is currently oblivious. Maybe he's currently looking in his book for these Strix creatures. What you could do is you could move over and shake him awake and make him aware that combat's going on.
Oh shoot! I didn't know he was sleeping. Okay, I'll move over.
So we'll say you
Yeah,
can
he's
do
all
this
the
on
way
the
to
second
11.
5. Yep. So you're
Yeah.
on second 5. He's on second 11. So that added up is 16. So now you both change your initiative to second 8.
8 it is. Much better.
So that you get over there and yeah, he's not asleep per se, but he's he's like either doing a final row or like trying to find where he remembered a Strix, even though these aren't Strixes. But so now it's Kara's turn.
Okay, cool. So if I want to do an attack, I basically click it and then I wait that many seconds. Is that right?
Oh, so when you first move into contact with an enemy, you can make a free attack, and then you'd
Okay.
wait your weapon speed. So since you just drew your weapon, you just got into contact with, you can attack.
All right. Let's see how this goes.
All right, you got a 10. This one got.
Ooh.
They're nimble. They're flying around just at your head height. So you're kind of like maybe there's a little bit of a jumping action involved. It's swinging at these creatures as they're buzzing around and trying to dart in to sting you. And you just can't connect with them. So, but it does have your speed there. See how it says speed 9 under your attack. So then when you hit delay, you just enter input number 9.
If I have 2 weapons, can I go back and forth or?
So if you have both weapons out, then that'll increase the speed of both weapons by 2. And your next weapon will attack, I believe, I want to say it half. So your scimitar is going to attack every 11 seconds. The second weapon will swing 5 seconds from now. And then you'll kind of have this back and forth act where your offhand weapon will swing every it's a dagger, right?
Yeah.
Every 7 seconds from 5 seconds from now. And then your scimitar will swing every 11 seconds from this second.
Okay.
That makes any sense at all.
Ish. Does that affect? Sorry. Using a weapon as a defense.
So if you attack with both weapons, then if something attacks you, you're going to roll a D10 to defense. If you're attacking with both, or if you're defending with one, then you'll still roll the D20.
Oh, okay. I think I'll just stick with attacking with the scimitar then. So I'll add the whatever it said on there.
Oh, so it
9 seconds.
no, it doesn't. Sorry, it doesn't look. Yeah, so there's a modification of 2 seconds to your speed, And then, yeah, the initial attack with your second weapon occurs basically the way it would occur is you'd attack, you'd wait half the weapon speed. This one would attack, you'd wait half the weapon speed. This one would attack. Yeah. If you're interested in doing this more, all like attacking with both weapons, I'll give you another token, and then that way you can track that's initiative as well. And then it'll kind of just be a token on the side of the map. That way you have 2 initiatives essentially.
Yeah,
And that might make it easier to track.
I think I'll just use the other for the dagger for defense.
Okay.
Since that seems a D20 seems better, safer. So
That's also true. Yeah. So then at this point, your scimitar is speed 9. So you just put delay 9.
Oh, okay. I was about to edit it directly.
Oh yeah, you can just hit delay and then 9.
Cool.
It'll do the maths for you. Next up is this wasp. He sees Navor, he sees Thalon, he sees Tub. So one is Navor, then Thalon, and then Tub. He's going after Navor. So he makes a beeline for Navor. Navor is also able to act on second 5, so he actually gets to swing first. So he attacks with a 19, and the wasp defends with a 17, which is not enough. And he slashes at the wasp as it buzzes around through the air, which does a little bit of damage to it. It's hurt. Unfortunately, that doesn't deter this wasp from flying down and attacking him.
Oh dear, they're meatier than I assumed.
They are meaty. A lot of insects in Hackmaster don't have threshold of pains. So in this case, he hurt it, but it.
Well, I mean more just like the total amount of health, even.
Yeah, these
Centipedes
guys
went down pretty easily. These things are meaty.
Mm-hmm. These are a little bit beefier. They're about 5 to 8 pounds each.
Are
So
they, or does Thalon think they are?
These ones are actually about they're about similar sizes to a Strix. So it's an easy mistake. But the wasp misses entirely.
Yeah, it's about as easy as confusing a mosquito for a wasp.
Potato.
I think you
So
mean
then we get
potato,
to-
tomato.
You say potato, I say vodka. What? Second 7, this last wasp gets to go. And we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just kind of working our way from the bottom up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It comes after Connor. This one buzzes in 15, 30, just enough to reach a swing. And Connor, you hear a slight buzzing behind you, and it attacks you from behind.
Oh, jeez.
So you're going to roll a d8 from defense because you're facing this other wasp.
So it's not like a macro. I just roll a d8.
Yep, just a d8. You'll add your You'll add your bonuses, as much as any bonuses you have, not including your shield. So
I don't have a shield.
Then there we go. Perfect. So you'll just add your normal 1. So it's a d8 plus 1. I got an 8, so that's just barely, but it hits.
Okay.
You feel yourself get stung in the back for a mighty 1 point of damage.
Ouch.
I know. You can't. This wasp is willing to take your surrender now if you'd like to.
Yeah,
So,
right.
Just be aware.
So that's a new wound, right? So that's wound number 2 for 1, right?
But do you have any armor?
No.
You have no armor?
No.
Oh.
It's too heavy.
All right. Armor doesn't count for your encumbrance.
Oh, okay. Well, I still don't have any.
All right. That will actually. Have you added the modifications for not wearing any armor?
Yeah, everything. Yeah.
Because if you don't wear armor, you do get a
-1 to my initiative. Yeah.
Yep. Perfect. Okay, as long as you
Yeah, that
kept
was in
track of
there.
that.
Yeah.
All right. So so you do get hit by that, and you're. I didn't realize you weren't wearing armor.
Yeah, so that's a second wound, and
1
so it's
point.
1 point, and then 1 day, right?
Yep. Well, for you, because you have fast healing, it's actually half a day.
Got it.
So this could recover by the time you even reach Orak.
Just
Right.
survive the day, though.
Right.
Just survive half a day.
Yeah. Okay.
Now it is Tubbs' turn.
Okay, I see that mosquito over there. I'm gonna try to go out.
Nice and close. Go for it.
Could I attack from here or no?
You can attack from there.
Awesome, I would do that.
All right, go for it. Dude, these are expert wasp warriors.
Yeah.
It's a 22. You come into my jungle? So then you can still hit.
Quick question. On my character
Yeah.
sheet, I have offhand with dagger both times. Anyone in particular I should do?
You have offhand dagger both attacking and offhand attack. Oh, yeah. You do have them written in twice.
They're both
You
slightly
should.
different.
Oh, one of them's backstabbing.
Oh, okay.
Let me change. It's the bottom one is backstabbing.
Gotcha. Just want to make sure.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
so
is
you should be
facing
rolling
Connor, right?
either the dagger one defending or you should be rolling the either the first one or the second one.
Yeah, I'll go for the second one. Thank you.
Ooh.
Right. Ooh, we both rolled 18s, but this one's just a little bit more nimble than you. So that misses. So your weapon speed is 6. So then you're gonna do both. You're gonna do delay 6 for your weapon speed.
Okay.
And that just adds 6 to his 8, right?
Yeah, that should add
It
just
makes
6.
it 14. Okay, just so I can try to understand it.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, same here.
Also, not to say anything now in the middle of the fight, but our ship is totally gonna get stuck on these rocks.
It's the best river map that I could find that had like
Raise the oars
pretty
quickly.
tight. And
I mean, technically, there's rocks behind us we're already stuck on.
yeah, you had terrible guides. You just haven't been. The jungle just looks so similar that you haven't noticed you've been moving past the past 2 days.
Those aren't wasps. I mean, those aren't rocks. They're giant wasp battle stations.
Exactly, those are their battlements.
Yeah.
That's no moon.
So it is now Falon.
Aha, it is time for the wizard to rise. And by that I mean, I'm going to pull out my weapon. I have a quarterstaff in my hand, and that's all I need to do.
All right. Next up is Falon.
Wouldn't you know it? Hey, how convenient. Well, what if I were to just jog right over here, join this little melee with our friend Naz, and give this guy a wallop?
Well, we'll see what you can do.
All right, so let's just take a look. I believe I'm going to go for an aggressive attack, so I get +5 to hit him.
See,
because I want him to
pays
go
off.
down. Is there any additional bonus for having Naz already over there engaging with him?
Not at this point. If you have 3 people engaging him, then he'll roll a d12. But at the moment, he's still rolling a d20.
Oh, I could attack from here, couldn't I? Actually,
Yes, you can.
So let's do it from here. He can't counterattack. I'll have the +5. Let's do it then.
There you go.
So there's no
Just
place
using
for
your wizard
+5,
noggin.
so we're going to use our brain here and add that in. Attack roll. That comes out to a 12.
Ooh, that it's not quite enough. With my 16, The wasp, maybe you just gave yourself a little bit too much room and you just smacked the edge of the boat.
Yeah, thonk. And I probably will be attacking again, so I will delay by 13.
Sounds good. Coming up next, Ari, you have your shield strapped on.
Yes, got stabbed in the neck too, so time to draw the saber. So if I'm just doing a 1 second thing, do I hit done or delay?
Done.
Done.
All right. Next up, Ari.
I am going to... Which one stabbed me in the neck? The one that's north of me on the map, right?
The one below.
The one that's hanging off the
south.
ship. Okay.
Yeah, the one hanging off the ship. The other one stabbed you in the back, but didn't get through your armor.
Yeah, I'm going to swing at the guy who stabbed me in the neck.
All right.
It's a near perfect attack.
So that will give you +1 damage if you do hit.
By the way, I've swung this sword like 3 or
And
4
you did-
times now, and near perfect every time.
Yep. And you're an expert attacker.
I gotta
So you hit.
gotta retire now.
So that's actually 9 points of damage. And this wasp, you nearly hack it in half, but you don't manage to get that last little bit. And the wasp like flutters down for a second, and blood like spews out onto the edge, like weird insect blood. It's all yellowy and white, spills out onto the deck of the ship, but it's still alive. It needs to do a morale check to see if it is trying to just bolt after an attack like that. So I need you to roll a d20 and add your character's morale modifier. So in this case, you have a +4.
Yeah.
Yep. And this is against his 9.
My 17 charisma comes into play.
So on second 11, this wasp might have some other ideas about what it wants to do. So right now, Connor.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
attack. I'm gonna swing my short sword at the one on the right, the one that backstabbed.
Okay. You hit.
Nice.
Good clean hit too. Well, Ari did an impressive show on scaring off this wasp. You did a great thing in just hacking this one apart. This wasp is dead.
Ha! You see that, Ari?
No, it's literally behind me.
Okay, so then I click delay or done. Done, right?
You click. You click delay.
You've turned that wasp into a human
right, because
being.
I want to go the one on the left. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then it's still 7, right?
Yep.
Yeah. All right, I'm getting it.
The one thing about this turn tracker is you'll see monsters at 999, and that's because if you delete them from the tracker, it breaks the tracker. So I'm just gonna make them go real late. So if you guys ever do get to 999 seconds, maybe these guys will reincarnate. Who knows?
Okay.
Did you hit delay?
I did. Yeah, it's like slow. I'll hit it again. You want me to hit it again?
Let's just see. Sometimes it seems like the Roll20 has a lot of traffic right now, so it's probably just running slow. For now, I'll just delay you manually, and
Okay.
we'll just see when this turn tracker catches up to us. We'll do it. We'll adjust. So Hezvim draws his weapon and steps forward. On to second 12. On second 11, the wasp that you were attacking. Oh, that wasn't that crazy of a delay. This wasp wants to preserve its life, and so actually turns to flee. So the way this works in Hackmaster is if you are a thief, or I believe Tub, you as well have the ability that if someone flees from you, you have a skill called Rearward Strike, where you can just get a free attack against them regardless. if someone tries to flee from you and you are closer to attacking than not, so at least halfway through your weapon speed, you can make a free attack against them.
That's cool.
In exchange for not following after them. So like normally in this case, Ari, you could follow after the wasp and like kind of like, you know, keep pace with him if you had the speed for that. But since you just attacked, you wouldn't be able to make a free attack against it. So, and since this wasp there's two things going on here. The wasp has movement 30, so he's able to just zip off with its fly speed. And the second thing is, in order to follow it, you'd have to jump off the boat into the water. So, would you like to do that? No. As it gets about 15 feet away as it turns and starts buzzing away.
I don't think so.
The water looks nice. Refreshing.
Yeah, I don't
cool.
think I consider a giant wasp to be my equal.
All right, fair enough.
Do you have a question?
It's going to disengage from combat. Yeah, Tub, what was your question?
I'm sorry about that. Speaking of abilities, I believe I don't have what you are talking about, but I have something called Rainier Strike. Whenever I attack someone from behind, they eliminate 1 point of the damage reduction of the foes. Am I attacking it from behind technically, or from the...
Let's see. Yeah, you have to be directly behind it.
Okay. I just wasn't sure what the angles.
Yeah. Yeah. So you don't have that ability. It's just going to be Kara that has the ability to attack fleeing opponent.
Right.
So then that second 12, Hezvim steps up and runs in to try to engage this wasp. Now that there's technically 4 people attacking this wasp, the wasp is going to roll a d12. So it gets a 12, and I chose Hezvim. Hezvim defended against himself. The wasp manages, though, to Hezvim's, maybe it's just his bulk. The wasp hears him coming, but the wasp manages to buzz out of the way just in time for Hezvim's spear to stab poorly. It is now second 13 and 14. Kara. One of the wasps has fled. One of the wasps is dead from Connor, and now there's one wasp remaining between the 4 of you.
Okay. Am I able to swing at that wasp now, or I have to
You can swing now, because you were waiting your weapon speed, and you can attack.
Sweet. And because we're all surrounding him, he has a defense?
Yep, so he'll be rolling that d12. You rolled. I didn't even see you rolled. He gets a 5 and fumbles. So first, let's see if your attack kills it, because then we don't have to worry about the fumble.
Okay.
So roll up that damage. Just not quite enough to kill it off that one attack, but it is severely hurt. The way fumbles work on defense is this will give him a -1 to attack for the rest of the combat. And there's a 50% chance that you get a free attack from it. So would you like even or odd?
Odd.
So on odd, you get a free attack.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, unlucky. I just rigged the dice, that's all.
By the way,
so would you like to...
We can be moving every second, right?
Since you, Ari, since you're essentially 2 squares away, if you wanted to be in a fight... You will have to wait your weapon speed to attack again. But yeah, you could be moving every second.
Just want to make sure I got that right.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, I'm going to delay my weapon speed again to do another hit.
Yep. And Navor, he's going after this one down here that Thalan and him are double teaming. He gets a 20. That's good odds. Woo! It could be enough. And sure enough, oh heavens.
Oh boy.
He just
Destroyed it.
absolutely
Jesus.
skewers this wasp down here.
What weapon does he have?
I believe he's also using a scimitar.
It's a good weapon.
It's a good weapon. So now Falon, Ari, and Navor can actually take a second to reorient themselves. So essentially 2 seconds. 1 second to orient themselves, and then they can act on the next second.
I still have to wait until the same second 22 before attacking again, right?
Oh, no, because you're not within. Because you have to. You can only do that. You only have to wait your weapon speed if there's an enemy within 3 squares. And since there's
okay.
no enemies within 3 squares,
So let's set myself to 17 then.
there you go. Or 16, because this happened on second 14. So on second 15, you take 1 second to orient yourself, and on second 16, you can act normally.
So turn order wise, when you're reorienting, if you're saying we can reorient ourselves right now,
Yep.
to change my number to 2 from now.
Yes.
So we're on
Or well, you can 2 seconds from now, because the kill happened on second 14.
So I would
second
move from
15.
17 to 16.
Yes.
Okay.
Because on the kill happened on second 14. The next second, you're like, okay, well, I'm no longer engaged. So you take a second to reorient yourself. And then the next second is when you can start moving and acting normally again.
I think this came up last time. Can you move while reorienting yourself?
I'm going to say no.
I can't remember what the answer was last time. I just remember I asked before. And clearly I need to hear things more than once.
I hope I was consistent, but I'm going to say no. Tub, you were on second 14, were you not?
I was, but I was a dummy that didn't press done.
Ah. Well, it's now you. What would you like to do?
Keep attacking.
All right, swing away. This guy is using a D12, so he's vulnerable. There's just one left. I got a 5. Oh, this is a second fumble in a... Oh, heavens. Wasp, what are you doing to me? So this is a situation where we're almost... if my fumble roll had been above his attack roll, it wouldn't have been a fumble, but it would still be a hit.
Right.
So, but in this case, it is a fumble, and if he can't kill him, make sure you're not rolling your offhand for damage, because your offhand actually does 2 points of damage less. If you notice, I added another dagger where it's with your on hand.
Yes.
The very bottom. So, yeah. If you just want to roll some damage for me. That's just enough. The wasp is dead. And that's the end of that final wasp. You plunge your dagger in and kill it. And that is the end of the wasp attack. You kind of look around, and it seems like the jungle is quieted down. What would you guys like to do?
See, that's what Strix do. They take your blood and run away. Wait, where'd they all go?
Yes, you are.
Why did we get the worst elf ever?
Right. Another round of not casting a spell. All right.
He has very many fine qualities yet to be seen. Hold your weight.
Next time I will translate the Strixes for you.
I'm gonna pull out my wineskin and take a swig of honey brew.
Okay. But before you do that, you can also do first aid as well to get you some points back for your damage. Although that will still only be 1. So, but you still drink honey brew, of course.
I mean, I don't know who is.
Tub is good at it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm injured, but
Tub, my fine friend.
Yes.
I'm quite injured. I'm bleeding profusely from the neck. I thought it was quite visible.
Is he really that bad, or is he just hamming it up?
Oh man.
He's looking rather hurt.
All right, I'll heal him.
Yeah. So it's an average check, so within 40%. So you rolled under a 75, so you're good. You get 1 hit point back from that wound.
I say so. Wound down to 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll heal the other guy now.
Are you gonna heal me too?
Yes, of course, of course. I am a cleric after all. It's my job.
All right.
And so that one also worked. And Connor, you just had a 1 point wound, right?
Yes, that's right.
So that 1 point wound goes away.
Awesome. Why, thank you.
And then are you drinking your honey brew as well?
Yes.
All right. So that'll be 1d4 minus 2. No penetration.
Quick question, DM. With
Yeah.
me doing this
Cool.
first aid, is there anything like subtracting or anything, or is it just like freebies?
It's essentially freebies. Mechanically, you can kind of like explain that, like, next time you go to the store, you buy some extra bandages and you're ripping them up. But you don't actually have to subtract anything from your inventory.
Right. Do I have to actually buy bandages, or is it?
You can buy bandages.
Okay.
Like you can buy like a blanket and say that's a good number of.
Fair enough. I just wanted to make sure I was doing it right, not just doing it freely without any, payment or something.
No worries. I'm good on you for asking about it. So it's another. You drink that honey brew and you get of a buzz going, but it doesn't seem to help you very much. The 30 minutes goes by and no healing there. Are you gonna drink another one?
Sure, why not?
All right.
Drink, 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 drink,
Chug,
drink,
chug,
drink.
chug, chug.
He loses health.
There is a minimum of 0, so this isn't going to. You don't die from a honey brew.
Well, I'm glad I bought those. They did taste very good.
You are feeling a little buzzed, by the way. So for the next hour, you are going to have a -1 to defense and a -5% to your resist persuasion, as you got just a nice edge of a buzz going on.
That's fine.
We did say we had an hour until we hit town, so.
Yeah. So you proceed on with your in the boat, and maybe the next hour or so is a little bit more exciting for Ari, but the small river that you guys have been following has slowly narrowed even lower, and the deep muddy water offers little resistance to impede your progress as you wind through twisted dropping trees that line the banks. The boat glides around a narrow bend, and the trees part, and the river widens to about 50 to 60 feet. And on the shore, you see a small dock that bobs and floats on the water, but from all outward appearances, looks abandoned. You see there's no other boats there, there's no one on the docks, and behind it, a camp. You see there's bamboo buildings and huts located in the jungle, and up ahead a small inlet where there would even be a larger area, and you see kind of a small opening for where a common area would be, where maybe these people would gather. But aside from that, you see no people out and about. As your boat is slowly drifting towards the dock, you see
what time of day is it?
It's about midday.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. As you float towards the dock, a flock of parrots squawk and call loudly. But otherwise, the village of Auroch is still and quiet.
Excellent.
So
Talon will go ahead and take out his heavy crossbow, start stringing it up, pulling it back, and keeping it ready.
So this is the map that we have here for Auroch. You've drifted up to this dock right here, and this is the layout of the village from above. This is not to scale at all, so but you guys can pull out one miniature if you'd like to display where you guys are as a group, so we can go through from hut to hut to hut. This